July 29th, they're running it back. It's Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Is it War 2? Is it going to be War 2? Is it going to be this? Is it good? Oh, it fell. The thing fell. Oh, my God, I got too excited. I'm sorry. Let's say hello to Dustin Poirier. Dustin, my man. El Diamante. There he is. Look at that, Dustin. It's been there the whole time. You see it there, right? Every single fucking show. What's up, Dustin? How are you?
What's up, brother? What's up, man? And we definitely going to have to dust off the hat for this one, man.
But you need to get the War 2. Are you going to get the War 2 one that he wore?
With the safari, with the cape on the back?
Yes. Got it. You tweeted the picture.
Should I?
Yes. It's fantastic.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I love it. I love everything about it. What a shirt you're wearing as well. This is tremendous.
Man, greatness and sweetness right here.
That is incredible. Look at you. It's great to see you, Dustin. And by the way, if you don't mind, I'm just going to have a little swig of this rare stash. You see this right over here? Courtesy. I think this is your. Aren't you a part of this crew, the bourbon crew here?
Yeah, yeah.
How about that? You didn't know I had this.
Co-founder.
Co-founder?
No, I found out yesterday. Yeah.
This is amazing. So what does this mean? You're in the bourbon business now? You're in the bourbon and hot sauce business?
Bourbon, hot sauce, seltzer water. I have hop water. I'm a partner in hop water.
Jeez.
Check them out.
Wow. Okay. Well, look at you. You're a businessman, but you're still a fighter, and it's great to see you back. Could I ask, Dustin, you're fighting July 29th. You last fought at Madison Square Garden in New York City in November. Why did it take so long to get you a fight?
I'm not sure. I guess, you know, at this level, the fights have to be right. And there's less and less mountaintop when you get to a certain point. So, you know, the guys that are available and guys that make sense, sometimes it takes longer. Obviously, at the beginning of my career or beginning of my UFC career, every fight made sense because I need to get some traction, make some noise, get wins. Now it's like I want title fights or I want the biggest fights that I can get.
Was there any talk of you, I threw it out there and then Beneil was like writing to me and all this stuff. Was there any talk of you fighting on the Newark card or fighting Beneil in Vancouver when Charles pulled out before they made this one, which everyone thought after the Fiziev fight that it was going to be you and Justin, but was there any talk of you kind of getting that maybe #1 contender fight?
No. The thing, like, I see on Twitter, people tagging me and stuff. Like, I haven't been offered a fight since I fought in November. Immediately after that, like the next week when I got home, they were talking about UFC. I mean, when I say they were talking about me and Beneil. Since that talk, I haven't been offered a fight. I haven't been offered any of the fights. Whenever the guys got hurt and they switched the cards around, they didn't. My phone hasn't rang. I think they wanted to do this Gaethje fight.
Okay. And so when you say that they were talking about the Beneil fight, like, was it just talk but never got to the point of offering?
I mean, if I would have kept entertaining the talk, I think the fight would have happened. It was never, here's a contract, here's the date. It was never got that far.
Were you just not interested in Beneil?
I think he deserves to get the title shot. And, you know, if he wins this fight with Charles, he's the next guy. I believe that. And I have a lot of respect for him. It's nothing like, it's just the kind of fights that I want. I want to wear the war hat. I want to, you know, be in battles. And he could put me through that. But it's just when I think about matchups and getting up and running the miles and putting in a whole training camp and moving my family to Florida for 2 months and doing all this stuff that I have to do to prepare for these fights. Like, I want to be, and dude, I'm not saying it like that against him. I like the guy, you know, I wish him the best, but I just want those butterflies in my stomach and I want to be nervous. And guys like Chandler, Conor, Gaethje, those kind of fights give me that, you know, and I'm fighting because I want to, not because I have to. So I want to be excited and motivated.
This is a bit of a silly question because I know the kind of person and fighter that you are, but like, I live my life trying to avoid nerves, trying to avoid anxiety. Why are you running towards nerves and anxiety?
Because I need it. That's where I do my best. That's where I'm the most motivated. That's where I learn the most about myself and about combat sports. That's where greatness is, man, in that uncomfortable. And that's what I try to do, put myself in that fire. And this is one of those fights that do it. You know, if this fight doesn't get you excited, you're not a fan of combat sports. You know, turn off YouTube right now and stop watching this show, because this fight, you know, is what I'm going to pick the war hat up for. I know what I'm going into. You know, it's a head-on collision, and I'm not turning away. That's what this fight is, and that's what I want. That excites me, dude. It gets me pumped up right now.
Great fight, and we saw it once before in 2018. You saw his fight against Fiziev. By the way, how did you think he looked, and did you think he ultimately won that fight?
Yeah, I think he edged it. I do. I'd have to go back, you know, and there's only 3 rounds, so it won't be that hard to score. But I think he looked a little different, right? Everybody says his boxing and things are changing. He did. He used his jab a lot better. He used his lateral footwork a lot better. So he did, but I still see Justin Gaethje, that the same guy. You know, he's doing a few things better, but I still see me being a matador and touching this guy.
So when you say he's still the same guy, like, do you mean like the reckless old school Justin who likes to get into a car crash?
Yeah, just now he does it with his seatbelt on, you know?
What a line. That is a tremendous line. He does say that he likes to take like 6 months off between fights because he does, you know, put a lot of, you know, wear and tear on the body. Were you worried? All right, that's March, and it seemed like they wanted it afterwards, but, you know, 6 months is September. Like, was a part of you worried, or B, a part of you surprised that this is happening in July, which is only 4 months later?
I wasn't sure when it was going to happen. I kind of thought, you know, as fan friendly as this fight is, it would be on International Fight Week where a lot of people would be there, and they were blowing up that card. But I had no clue when it was going to happen, but I thought summer, and summer worked the best for me. My daughter's finishing up her last few days of school. Then we can go to Florida together as a family. You know, I would have done a camp away from my family and them fly in when they could, but I don't want to do that.
Is that for the rest of your career? Are you going to try to be on this schedule until you're done?
We'll see. No, I think there'll be times where it makes sense. You know, if the matchup's right and the opportunity's right. You know, I was thinking about doing it if this happened at a different date. So we'll just see moving forward. But I'm just happy it worked out this time, man.
Any part of you, like I was mentioning this on the show, it's like, man, kind of a cruel, you know, turn of events that you beat Michael Chandler, and then he gets the tough spot against Conor. And I know you've done the Conor thing 3 times now, but like he was getting all this, and you're the winner. Like, you know, like what's your prize? What did you get out of it? When you see all this, when you were seeing it and you didn't have a fight yet, were you getting a little annoyed?
No, you know, they called me to do the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh,
against Justin. So we could have jumped on that, you know. That was before he fought his last fight.
Oh, and why didn't it happen?
Well, my daughter's in school for one. I'd have to be away for 6 weeks. They said I could fly my family in on the weekend. I still got the fight, and I didn't have to be away from my family for 6 weeks. So,
okay. Do you even want to coach stuff? Like if it was over the summer and your family could be with you for the whole time, is that something of interest to you?
If everything would have worked out and my family could have been there with me and numbers were right and it made sense, for sure.
Okay. And so then after that, when that fell through, that's when they did the Conor thing.
Yeah, I don't know who else they offered the show to. I don't know if Justin had a different opponent. I don't know the whole thing, but I know the Conor thing was announced not too long after that.
Okay. And by the way, since we haven't talked in a while, just curious, and it's your division, who do you think won the Volk Islam fight?
I haven't gone back and really broken it down round by round, but in the moment, watching it with my friends, I thought Islam edged it out. I did, you know, but I'd have to go back and watch each round and score it like that.
Were you surprised at how well Volk did against him?
I thought he was going to have success with his takedown defense. Just being squatty, it's going to be tough to get underneath, you know, that low center of gravity. He's strong. He's big at 55, but he's compact. So getting under those hips and he did very well. I thought he would give him a little trouble, but I didn't think he was going to do that well.
Okay. And so now you're not fighting for a belt, of course, but you are fighting for a different kind of belt. It's called the BMF title, and that's what's at stake July 29th. Can I tell you, like, I love everything about this. And you know, I like to keep it real with you. I don't love the BMF title. So I'm telling you face to face here, or screen to man. I don't love the BMF title, and I don't think this fight needs it. I think this fight can headline 5 rounds on its own, and you don't need that. And I'll be happy to tell you why I don't love it. But I'm just curious, how was it presented to you?
That we were going to,
yeah,
just like you said, that we were going to main event for 5 rounds for the BMF title.
That was it?
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
Like you said, I mean, this fight, I think, could headline without a BMF title. This is an exciting fight, but that just adds more fun to it to me. You know, I would love to have that strap up there in my living room. So another accolade.
I remember when you won the interim belt and you were like, this isn't the real one. And I remember even Gaethje had a similar, like you two guys in particular are always about like, I want the, you know, and I know this isn't an undisputed, it's a totally different lineage and all that. So I was just wondering how you felt about it. Like, I didn't know if you wanted the gimmick belt and all that stuff. I didn't know. I thought you would feel a little bit funny.
Nah, I'm not going to walk around like I'm the undisputed world champion if I get this belt wrapped around my waist in July, but it's fun. And if you look at our track record of, you know, competing for fight of the years over the last 10, 11 years, you know, we have a lot of huge fights that have been voted on for fight of the year. One was against each other. Just look at the bonuses and the fight of the nights and the carnage that me and him both display in there. It makes sense to have something fun like that. You know, we're always talking about lightweight, most violent fighter. I said I completed the triangle by beating him, beating Alvarez, beating Chandler, beating Conor. You know, so we run it back for the most violent. Call it the BMF. Call it whatever you want.
Actually, most violent MF or whatever it is, and that would be great. But I just want you to understand where I'm coming from here, right? Like, I don't think you need the gimmick. It's not like I'm taking anything away from the fight. Like, to me, you tell me you guys are fighting 5 rounds anywhere on the planet, I'm watching and excited for it. I was just wondering how you would feel about it, how he would feel about it, because I remember how you felt when you got the interim belt. And you know, I know you're friends with Jorge.
You know, Masvidal is my boy, and this is a whole different thing. Like, the interim title was a piece of the world title. It was a placeholder as the #1 guy until the champ got back to defend his title. It was a piece of it, you know, a chip of the title. That's what it was. This is a whole different thing. You know, I'm not going into it like that's just for me. That's just a fun, you know, a fun thing to have on top of fighting 5 rounds against one of the most violent guys. It's fun. You know, I'm not looking at it like that.
Okay. By the way, did Jorge say anything to you after this was announced?
No, I saw him share it, the story of the BMF title. But I'm gonna see him. I'm leaving for camp at the end of this week, so I'll see him in the next few days.
Okay. And this is in Utah. And we saw the last time they were in Utah, some dudes were struggling out there. Luke, Paulo Costa, Jose Aldo, even Leon Edwards told me he struggled. How do you feel about fighting at such high elevation?
Dude, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see when we get out there. I'm kind of planning ahead. I'm having my team reach out to a couple different altitude tent companies. I'm looking at some to wrap around my bed in training camp, so I'll sleep at altitude every night.
Wow.
I know Gaethje's out in Denver, so he's going to be coming down to fight. You know, he's got a little bit of advantage there with the altitude. We'll see. I'm going to go there probably 8 or 9 days, maybe 8 days in advance. That way I have good sleep and get my body used to that. But I don't know. In the words of my boxing coach, when we talked about it, when this fight started unfolding, he said he don't care. It can be on space. It could be in space. That I'm a high condition combat athlete and I can fight anywhere for however long. So that's what we're going into this with.
8 or 9 days before. Most people are going out. Like, I know you're not Ben Rothwell, but he said he fought in Denver and he came out like a month before. And I know you're not a 280-pound heavyweight, but 8 or 9 days, that's not a lot of time.
No, I'll be the judge of that.
All right. And I forgot that he actually trains in Denver too. So he's actually coming down. When you heard,
I was thinking about too, looking at the area around there. I was thinking about going, maybe staying the 8 days before in Park City. It's actually 2,000 feet above Salt Lake, maybe 40-minute drive away. So we'll see. I'm still kind of planning all that out. I hope the altitude tent stuff is legit and we get a deal done with the company where I'm sleeping at altitude for the next 8 weeks. And hopefully that helps. It's a fight, man. 25 minutes. Come on.
Yeah.
We're not fighting on Mount Everest, dude. Come on, let's go. You know?
All right. That first fight with him, when's the last time you watched it?
Actually, it's been a while, man. I haven't seen it in a while. I'm sure I'll break some stuff down in this camp with my coaches.
What do you remember most from that night?
Leg kicks. Leg kicks.
Do you think he's changed a lot? Like, I know you talked about the new, but like, ultimately, do you think he's the same guy, or do you think he's improved a lot since those, since those 4.5 rounds or whatever you shared with him for a little bit, 4 and a bit, back in 2018, 5 years?
He's had to have some improvements. So have I.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wasted the last 5 years. You know, if we didn't get better from then, what the hell we've been doing? I think he's very similar. He does a lot of the same things, but he's moving his feet a lot better, especially laterally. He's investing in his defense a little bit more. You can tell, using his jab a lot. He wasn't doing that before. You know, he was just setting up big punches. Now he's trying to hide them behind the jab and a little bit better footwork. So, but we're going to break up. I don't get too far ahead of myself now. When I get to Florida this week, we'll start breaking down footage and figuring out what we're going to do.
So we have Charles and Beneil fighting in just a few weeks in Vancouver. Obviously, the winner of that is probably going to fight, one suspects, Islam in October. Is it possible that the winner of your fight gets a title shot?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, because if Beneil goes out there and wins, we can't say no, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, this is the fight business. It's not the fair business, Ariel. So we just scrap and see what happens.
But was that discussed at all? If Islam wins, because I understand what you're saying. Like if Beneil beats Islam, then they probably will run it back. I would imagine, maybe not. It might stall things.
No, I thought you were talking about me jumping the line.
Oh no, I just mean, you know, you fight in January, they're fighting in October. You're the number one contender. You fight the winner of that fight from the October fight. You know what I mean? Like in January or something.
Right. No. Yeah. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Sure.
Has that been discussed? Has that been said? I can't see who else would there be.
It's not on paper, but from what I've spoken to people about making this contract is I believe we're the next. Whoever wins this fight out of me and Justin will be next.
Okay. Do you think Beneil or Charles? I know we saw them fight once before, but like, do you think either of those guys has a shot against Islam?
Of course, either guy does. Anybody can beat anybody at this level, you know, on any night.
Is there a part of you that wants Islam because it's the closest thing that you can get to beating Khabib, or do you not look at it that way?
No, man, I don't hold those grudges or anything like that. Or it's whatever to me. I got Justin Gaethje, then we'll look at the next thing. You know, I can't look that far ahead.
Yeah, and by the way, for the record, I don't mean it's like a grudge you have against Khabib, but like, you know, you always want to get them back, right?
I do love some get back, and I know that's fueling Justin. I was just in the position, you know, going to fight Conor for the second time.
Right.
I had to sit back and think about that loss for all those years. So I know how it is to be in Justin's position, and I know that motivation. So I'm expecting the best Gaethje that's ever been in there.
By the way, this Conor McGregor documentary came out on Netflix, and your two fights are like heavily featured in the documentary. Did you watch it?
No. So my phone's been blowing up, obviously, with people watching it and telling me stuff. But I'm waiting until I get to camp and have some downtime, because I'm going to do the first week of training camp by myself. So I'm going to have plenty of time after training to get caught up on documentaries and stuff. That's kind of what I do.
Okay. So you do want to watch it, though. I mean, why not, right? You want both fights.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely watching it.
Are you surprised that they did it during that time? Like that they featured, you know, the Khabib fight, the two fights against you.
I mean, what else? When else did the guy fight? That's his last fight.
I guess. I was at the Black Forge Inn in Dublin over the weekend. Great steak, by the way, if you're ever in town. I don't know if you would partake, but, you know, it was pretty good.
If I'm there, I might have to check it out, man.
So you're a big documentary?
Hey, nothing against the guy. Hey, I love documentaries. In training camp, that's majority of my nights are spent watching documentaries, stretching and rolling out.
Wow.
Train once, twice a day, hit a nighttime run or something, and then watch documentaries. But I saw you were there, dude, and I like Guinness. I love a good dark beer, so I need to try that out. Connor's beer.
Yeah, the Irish Forge Stout. Me too. Documentaries. My only thing I like to watch. I don't like to watch like real movies, just documentaries. I do like sports documentaries. Do you like the sports one, or do you like the one, you know, like the real life ones?
I like both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite of all time?
Favorite sports documentary of all time? Maybe Legendary Nights, Gotti Ward.
Oh man, those were amazing. That's old school HBO right there. That's amazing.
The way they shot it is incredible, man. It's awesome. I was just telling my buddy that Ward actually called me a few days ago. He was in Louisiana. I was like, it's crazy to look at my caller ID on my phone and Mickey's calling me. You know, I've just grown up being such a big fan of combat sports and watching that documentary so many times and watching their fights, you know, and seeing the guy calling me is just surreal.
Why'd he call you?
He was in Louisiana.
Just to say what's up?
He was doing a boxing seminar in North Louisiana,
Okay.
but I didn't know. You know, I would have made it out there if I didn't know ahead of time.
Oh man. And are you friends?
Yeah,
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Look at you rolling around with the legends of the boxing game. That's incredible.
yeah, man. He's a good dude. I like Mickey a lot.
What a life. By the way, what were you doing with IndyCar? I saw you doing some IndyCar thing. What was that?
Dude, I was going fast, baby, like
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby. I think I went like almost 170 miles per hour.
Jeez. What was that for?
Yeah,
Was that like a celebrity thing?
yeah. They brought me out to do the first 3 laps of the race. They make a special Indy car that has 2 seats, so you sit right behind the driver. So you do 2 laps with the opening cars, and then you do 1 lap by yourself with the driver. I mean, we hit full throttle, you know.
Holy crap. And this is before a race?
Yeah. So we open the race up.
Wow. Were you nervous? I mean, you're like a
Of course, of course.
Wait, but are you the one pressing on the pedal or is there someone else doing it?
No, I'm sitting like it's almost like a fighter
Oh,
jet cockpit. I'm
geez.
sitting right behind the driver. They wouldn't let me behind the wheel of that thing, man.
No, no, no. Yeah, that is stressful. And you also did ESPN desk for the event in Miami. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I actually did. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Why is that?
I mean, I thought it would be fun, but just sitting up there, it's all the same people that I grew up in the company with, you know,
Yeah.
like all the people behind the scenes. It's all the same people. So it was just cool to be back around that and running into fighters and seeing all the fans. It was a good experience for me.
Would you like to do more?
Yeah, if they wanted me back on, I would definitely jump on.
Did your friend Teddy Atlas give you any tips?
No, I didn't get any tips from Teddy.
Was he working that one? Because sometimes he works the events. No, he wasn't
No,
there.
he wasn't there in Miami. No.
Yeah, that was a great one. Izzy, unbelievable. And I was wondering also before I let you go, like, what was your reaction when you saw? Because again, we haven't talked in a while, so I apologize if this feels like old news. But when Nate left, did a part of you feel like, fuck, man, this may never happen? This is the one that we were chasing, talking about for freaking 4 years now. What was your reaction?
Look, I want everybody to be paid and to succeed, whether it's in this organization or that. I don't care. We're putting it all on the line out there. So I hope he got whatever he was looking for. Hope it all works out. You know, hope he gets paid.
Do you think at some point?
But yeah, of course, I always wanted to fight him, man.
Yeah. Do you think at some point it happens, or do you think it's now dead forever?
Never say never, but it looks like it's gone.
Are you interested in this fight against Jake?
I'll definitely watch for sure. And man, you know, Jake's younger, bigger, faster. It's not an easy fight, you know. Just because Nate's a grizzled veteran with a lot of experience, and Jake's a new guy who's on YouTube. You know, he's got the money and the amenities to surround himself with the best people and dedicate himself to fighting. And he's younger and more explosive. And I think Diaz's boxing is good for MMA. It's a completely different thing.
Yes.
You know, it's a completely different thing.
So are you leaning Jake?
Yeah.
Wow. That would be big. Jake beats Nate Diaz, right? Like for everything that Nate represents, to lose to someone like Jake Paul, that would be a big blow, don't you think?
Of course, man. Yeah, of course. But that's fighting. I kind of want to go to the event. It's right here in Dallas. You know, I'm a 6-hour drive from Dallas, where I live in Louisiana.
Okay. I'm working the event. I could pull some strings if you'd like.
For sure, man. If I'm home when the fight happens, I'm
I got you. That'll be a week after you beat Justin and you're the BMF champ. You roll up with that belt.
Let's do it, man.
By the way, do you think Conor beats Chandler? You know them both very well now.
I've got that question a bunch, Ariel, and I think that if Conor comes back anything like he was with his timing and rhythm, you know, with the injury that he had and this long of a layoff, and we're not getting any younger either, you know. If he comes back similar to who he was before he left, I think he stops Michael Chandler.
Wow. Early, late, what do you think? Do you think, because like Chandler wrestling, you would think he would use it, but there's a part of me that wonders if he just gets too enamored with like getting into a brawl with Conor, and that would be to his detriment.
If Conor is who he was before the injury and stuff, I think 2 rounds. I think the fight's over in 2 rounds.
Wow. And do you think he could get back to that guy? Do you think that guy still exists?
If anybody can, I think it would be him if he's 100% dedicated and focused and, you know, put the blinders on and really go at this with all of himself. I think he can, but we'll see, man. That's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah. Well, your fight is extremely interesting. This is the fight that this is what you live for, right? This is your oxygen, a fight like this. Even though you beat him, you still feel motivated?
It's war. It's war. Yeah, and I'm very motivated. This is legacy. That's what this is for me. This is just cementing legacy, man.
Is there a part of you that feels like you need to top the last one?
That's something that crosses my mind too. Like, I have to go in there and be better than I was last time, but I knocked the guy out.
Yes.
You know, how do I do that better? I just need to win. I just need to win. I think our fighting styles is going to be an incredible fight. I don't go into that like trying to have an exciting fight. I know, you know, I signed the contract yesterday, so it's done. Once I sign that, you know, I know what I'm getting into, and I'm a fan of Justin. I've been around him a few times since we fought. He's very respectful. I like the guy. Every time he fights, I'm gonna buy the pay-per-view. I'm tuning in, but when I'm standing across from him, it's war. It's war, man.
So we're going War 2, right? I need a new picture.
I got you. I'll get the mud flap on the back.
And by the way, it seems like a great product. I haven't had it yet because I just got it, but we don't drink this during camp, right? I mean, we got to cut it off.
Yeah, we got to cut it off.
Okay.
We got to cut it off.
All right. Much respect. Dustin, I appreciate you very much. This means I don't have to bother you, and I won't bother you for at least a few months to come back on the show. Still never been in studio, by the way. One of these days, I'd love for it to happen. If only you fought in New York, it would be easy to get you in studio. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have fought in New York.
I don't think you reached out that week. You must have forgot to reach out.
Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy, Dustin. You're the man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Good luck. Safe travels to Florida. Enjoy all the documentary watching. Good luck in training. And thanks for the bourbon. Much love.
Enjoy, man. Drink responsibly. Stay hydrated.
That's right. Teed him up for that. There he is. I mean, that was perfect, right? Wow.